Well, hello everyone. Welcome to another video. This is Morr'gán Rowlings coming to you from the Old World Order and the Church of All Worlds. Crazy night we had last night. I mean, just paranormal investigation at Hidden Waters. And, well, I mean, we had our friend Liz felt something put their hand on her shoulder, softly. Immense cold feeling and immense sadness that accompanied such touching. And one tree she touched with her hand and immediately had the sensation of history. She perceived a 12-year-old girl being hung from that tree. And at one point she did cry. Little. Trying to find, trying to find my shaving stuff. I fully intend to get myself cleaned up in this video. This is not what the video is about, but I have very little time. Sorry, not trying to ruin the video. I need to get cleaned up. I've been... Here, you know what? I'm just gonna change the head on this. As well as... So there are ghosts there. Phantasmal spirits that used to be human. And I believe the ghost of that 13-year-old child is still there. Quiet, but unrestful. And there were perceived shadow figures. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with the paranormal world, a shadow figure is that which... It's a non-human entity. In other words, it was never human. It is not a ghost. But it is a spirit. It was complete negativity. It had... You know, people often compare spirits in the spiritual realm as either angels or demons. Angels are good, demons are bad. That is not true. Not all angels are good, the same as not all demons are evil. They are simply two different races, such as you take the race of dogs and the race of cats. Well, suppose somebody came up to you and said dogs are all evil and cats are all good. Well, there are a damn lot of dog lovers out there who will be offended by this. The same is true in the spirit world. Not all demons are evil. Not all angels are good. This is a point that's very, very hard to make with the Christian world, who assume that all demons were originally angels, and they left heaven and sided with the devil. This is not true. If you look up deeply in the Bible, you'll find that Lucifer was the greatest of all angels, and that he tried to outdo the power of God and he was kicked out of heaven. Lucifer does not appear in the Bible again. Satan is a completely different being who was created solely for the purpose of testing man's faith. He is not evil. The being of true evil is God himself, which is the I can't remember the word. But the Hebrew faith is a faith that upholds God as the ultimate being of both good and evil. And that's only if you believe in the Bible. I do not. I still study the Bible. I still study every faith out there. I learn all the key points of religion that point to an ultimate downfall of the religion itself. So saying, demons are not all evil and angels are not all good. The spirits we encountered at Hidden Waters, the shadow figures, they are basic black enveloping shadow. If you notice, if you have ever encountered such a being, there is no physical form, but what you see is as if there was a physical form, but it generates shadow from within inside itself. It's not that it stands in the shadow here, in a corner there, and hides. No, it can stand in the open and generate its own shadow. That is all you will see of it. These are evil beings. They have never once proven any good to anyone. They are capable of possessing a person. They have a sinister, angelic aptitude. Almost growing a beard here, it's been so long. These shadow beings run with great haste, whereas phantoms are, as in human ghosts, often move in slow, methodic patterns. A lot of human ghosts are bound to this earth by some form of energy, whether it's their own or another entity. There are, as far as I have been able to conceive, demonic spirits, as in negative demonic spirits, that feed off of other spiritual energies. And they are most likely responsible for human ghosts being trapped on this earth. They often will claim a spirit for their own if that spirit is not allowed or prompted to cross over into the next world when the time comes. And a lot of the time, another reason for these ghosts being trapped to the earth is their own energy. Supposing you died in the middle of some great crisis, you had something happen that, like, a lot of soldiers coming through wars, being killed in wars, they are not at peace with their surroundings or with their own passing. Sometimes yes, but very rarely is that ever the case. Aye, that's loud. A lot of the time, you'll find people dying are not at peace with their passing. They're not ready. Very rarely is everyone ever ready. And if someone, like a priest or a priestess, wizard, witch, whatever, if they do not find that spirit quick enough, they will become attached to the place that they feel most dependent on. They will haunt the place. And sometimes these spirits become negative pieces of energy that that will cause harm to those coming upon them. Excuse me. I know this is a kind of wonky video, sorry. they're not at peace with their passing. They're not ready to move on, and so they linger. Well, I do believe there are many of those spirits there. There's our friend Elizabeth perceived a gallows, as well as several houses that used to exist there that do not exist there any longer. She is coming into her own, becoming an empath, and she was able to visualize a great many things last night. Deaths and the emotions of the people as they died. And she was able to pass on to me some of that piece of information. It's very sad. Being part of the paranormal world is a very sad piece of situation a lot of the time. And besides these ghosts and shadow people, we came upon 2 animalistic spirits. Often these spirits register only as eyes glowing in the forest, into the more heavily wooded parts that people don't walk through. First time we were there, these animalistic spirits reached out and grabbed Liz's foot. And all we saw were eyes. This time, Dakota, Elizabeth's fiance, went and taunted these spirits and urged them to touch him and told them he was not afraid of them and dared them to do something. Well, they clawed Elizabeth's neck, and they clawed her arm, and they clawed her other arm, and they kept reaching out to her. She's, I suppose, the weaker vessel between the two of them. And that is by no means an insult to her. People have different energy resistance levels, spiritual energy resistance levels. I have I don't know what my resistance level is. All I know is that the spirits out there are not antagonistic towards me, probably because of the blood I have running through me. Many, many thousands of generations ago, one of my ancestors was infected with the demonic virus of Zabuza. Few people understand what this is. Some people pronounce it as porphyria, or any number of other diseases. It is the vampire gene. It is a highly demonic thing. Not necessarily my choice. This is something that was passed on to me through generations. I'm not sure which bloodline, my mother's or my father's. I know my sister has one fang. I don't know if that's just a perchance thing, or if it is the virus. But I am protected. Any spiritual entity notices this and understands what it is, and as well as them reading within myself. I am not antagonistic to anything, however demonic. I am there to see if I can help it in any way, or establish communication or connection to it somehow. But I am not there to exorcise it. I'm not there to send it away from its home. I'm not there to necessarily change anything unless I can benefit all connected. And the spirits know this of me. They know that I am not there against them, but rather for them. And therefore, I have never been touched. I have never been scratched. I have never been possessed. I am there to help. All connected, not just one individual. As I said, demonic entities are not necessarily evil. I know there is a demon, a demonic entity, holding human spirits to that place. I do not know this spirit's name. I do not know anything about it. I just felt its presence, and I know what it does there. And I refuse to think of this entity as an enemy. Yes, there are many here in Missouri that would immediately assume, oh, it's a demon, it's evil. And those who think they have the power would seek to exercise it, and I am pretty certain that entity will dispel them from the place. It did not do so to me, nor did it do it to any of those with me, because I claim them. Under my hold, I claim them as my companions, if not my family. It may reach out and harm them to a certain extent. It may warn them, and it may temporarily take hold of them, but it will not kill them, and it will not put them out from its presence. It gives them demonstrations of its power, hoping to make them fearful enough about it. But it is not going to kill them. It knows me. This may even be the same demonic entity that holds spirits captive in Wendyville. I believe I've spoken on that before in a former video. I do not know. I do not know this spirit. I just know that it does basically the same thing, and that I'm not there to harm it, or necessarily change anything unless it is for the better of all involved. You see, you see pictures in Lord of the Rings, images of Gandalf fighting the dead in the city of Dol Guldur, or him fighting the Balrog in the mines of Moria and all around that place. I am not quite like that as a wizard. I do not automatically think this thing is this certain race, it has to be evil. I'm the sort of wizard who, if I lived in the Lord of the Rings era or world, I would have an orc for a companion. Honestly. I would find an orc that had some bit of a brain of its own, and I would keep it in my company. I would treat it well, and it would be my friend. Whereas Gandalf would automatically see an orc and kill it, without really thinking, does this orc have a brain? Could this orc be good? And that is the difference between me and Gandalf. I'm not saying necessarily Gandalf was wrong. I'm saying I look at things differently from what he would have seen. So that's what I wanted to talk about in this video, was basically the the happenstances of Hidden Waters last night. I've got it all on film. I'm trying to upload it to YouTube. It's being very finicky because it's almost an hour-long video. But I hope to someday soon have that uploaded. Until then, please keep watching the channel. Please like and subscribe to me if you're not already a subscriber. Till next time, hail and farewell. Thank you for watching.